He's never had
I
anything
mean,
like
dude,
this.
this is
And all of a sudden he has to act. And it's a very tough thing to
Sure.
act.
Your actions after that assassination attempt were inspiring. Um, you, instead of shying away from things, instead of ducking down, um, you were pumping your fist in the air and saying, fight, fight, fight. And I think that's, I mean, the president of the United States represents America. And I think that is America. That is strength under fire. And so that's, a big, part of the reason why I was excited to endorse you as
it's such a dumb
the
idea not to
president
do
of
this
the
in
United
video
States
form.
for
I know.
having another term here. Is that was just incredibly inspiring. But I mean, what was it like for
Glaze,
you?
glazing,
Not pleasant, I have to
Not
be honest.
pleasant.
glaze.
I said there was blood. I had
Being
more
shot is
blood.
not
I didn't
much
know I had.
fun.
I
He's
didn't
doing
know I
tricks
had that
on
much
it.
blood. The doctors later told me that the ear is a place that is a very bloody place if you're going to get
A
hit.
very bloody
But
place.
in this case, it was probably the best alternative you could even think about because it went at the right angle, and it was a hard hit. It was very, I guess you would say surreal, but it wasn't surreal. You know, I was telling somebody you have instances like this, or like a lot less than this, where you feel it's a surreal situation, and I never felt that way. I knew immediately that it was a bullet. I knew immediately that it was at the ear,
Yeah.
and because it hit very hard, but hit the ear. And I also heard people shout, "Bullets, bullets!" Get down, because I moved down pretty nicely, pretty quickly, and we had bullets flying right over my head after I went down. So I'm glad I went down. The bigger miracle was that I was looking in the exact direction of the shooter, and so it hit.
Boo, we
It
don't
hit me at
care.
an
We
angle
forgot
that
about it,
was
old man. Nobody cares.
far less destructive than any other angle. So that was the miracle. That was
Yeah.
for those
Split
people that
second.
don't believe in God. I think we got to all start thinking about that. You have to, I'm a believer now. I'm more of a believer, I think, and a lot of people have said that to me. A lot of great people have said that to me, actually. But it was amazing that I happened to be turned just at that perfect
Yeah.
angle, and all because I put down a chart on immigration that showed that the numbers were so great. I love that chart
I
even
mean,
more
maybe it's
now
a
than I
sign.
ever.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's a sign.
it's an immigration sign.
Yeah,
You
we should get
highlighted
the
a
South
serious
African
issue,
immigrant out.
and
Yeah,
at that moment,
that's right.
the bullet missed your, hit your ear, but missed your head. I mean,
Well, the amazing thing is that the sign. I said, bring down that sign on immigration, and it was literally about an eighth of a second where it would be good, and after that it was going to
yeah,
be a disaster, no matter which way you were facing. But it just had that perfect angle, which was
yeah,
exactly at this shooter. Very sad situation. Such a sad situation. As you know, we lost somebody that was great, Corey,
yeah,
who, a firefighter, a great gentleman, a great trumper. He was just a fantastic family and a fantastic
I
man. And
think
a
I
friend
think
of
he
mine came
sounds
up,
like he has a lisp
Elon,
right
and
now
said, "I'd
because
like to
of
give
the audio
his family
compression
some
issues,
kind of
probably.
help." And I
Which,
said,
I mean, it
"That's great."
doesn't
He
play
said, "Do you
well
mind?" I said, "I
to
don't
a guy
mind at
like
all."
Trump
And
who
he wrote
cares
out a
about the
check for
optics.
$1 million, gave it to the wife, and you know,
Yeah, see?
she said, "This is really nice,
Top end
but
is
I'd
fucked
rather
up
have my
because the audio
husband back,"
compression, it
which
does that to
is a
sibilants.
nice thing for
sure,
somebody to say, to be honest. She's great. The family is great, and we raised a lot of
yeah,
money for them and for two other gentlemen are unbelievable people. Also, they were hit really badly. They thought they were not going to make it, and they did. The doctors in the Butler area, I tell you, they were incredible. They saved the two, and they were really hit tough, both of them
yeah,
equally. And we thought
yeah.
my first question was, because I heard bullets flying over me. I said, "How
Ask his
many people
name.
were killed?" 'Cause we had a
Elon, ask his
massive
name right
crowd,
now.
a
Ask
tremendous
what the
Yeah.
firefighter's name is right
thousands and
now.
thousands of people, and there was no land. I mean, there was
You will
just, it
be a
was all
legend.
people
If
saying,
he asked,
"How many people
he
have
would
been
never do
killed?"
it.
Because I
But
knew there were other shots being fired,
Sure.
and they said, "We
no,
don't know
not just
yet,
his first
but some
name.
people have been badly hurt."
Full
And
name.
I
Full
have to
name.
give the Secret Service sniper, they call him, or sharpshooter, but sniper,
Yeah,
because he didn't know there was a problem. He's an extraordinary shot, obviously, and he didn't know there was a problem, and he was
yeah,
able to pick it all out within 5 seconds. and he used one bullet from very far away, I guess probably about 400 yards. The shooter was
Also,
130, but he was on the
Yeah.
it
he
was
was on
pretty
the
funny when he was
opposite
like,
side
"I'll
of
never
the
tell
field
this
from the
story
building.
again. It's too
And he saw
emotional."
the smoke and the flame from the gun.
That was one of my
Immediately
favorite gay Trump
recognized it,
moments
and
when he
immediately
gets
took
like
a
all
shot.
like, "I will
And
never
it was
tell
one
this story again."
perfect shot from very far away. And if he didn't do
Yeah.
that, Elon, he would have. I mean, if
I think one thing that
triple
people
digits,
fail
actually.
to
So
consider
you know,
is that
it
Trump
was
actually performs really well in adversarial interviews because he gets like bitchy.
it's hard. I
And
have
when
to
it's a
say this
glaze
about the
sesh,
Secret Service. When
and
I
I've
went
listened to
down,
so many Trump glaze sessions with Sean
I went
Hannity
down
where
for
he
the story,
sucks
I
them,
think they're screaming.
like he gives him that good
Other
suck.
people also, 'cause people
It's
feel
very boring.
you know, you had
Comes across as like a very boring, low energy back and forth.
Yeah.
You
and
won bingo?
let me tell you, that took
Congratulations.
tremendous.
This is a good take on the
What you
dynamic.
think
Elon
was
wants
that
Trump to
this
say
guy
this was a
ran to his
conspiracy by
side
the deep state or
with it
potentially
all
like
planned out with
DEI
the gun.
and was allowed to happen, but that's
He
not
ran to
actually
the
convenient
site
for Trump.
and
He
he
wants people to
started
think the killer
shooting
was super
fast,
skilled and
maybe
survived
that's
nonetheless.
why
He's defending the cop who got scared by the kid on the roof.
missed. I mean, you know.
What I find admirable there was that you can't fake bravery under such circumstances. The courage is instinctual or it is not. It's not a rehearsed action. And so I just want to say
Glaze!
that I think a lot of people admire your courage under fire.
Glaze!
And
Oh my
It was
God, this is
pretty
what he
amazing.
looks
It was
like
a,
right
it
now.
was,
He's
that
so fucking cute.
saved your life, really.
and the bullet came whizzing by, hitting my ear. So it was amazing. But when you think of the odds of that, and
Yeah, yeah,
you know that normally you wouldn't use it. Normally I wouldn't have the thing, and then you know it would
yeah,
have been a very different story. It's very much. I I say an act of God. It's a miracle that it happened, and I'm
sure.
He
honored by
does.
it.
Trump has a
I'm
lisp.
honored by it.
Well,
Let's just start that.
well,
Trump actually has a lisp. He always has a body
what do
double.
we?
In my last week, we had the best illegal immigration numbers, meaning stopping. It was at the lowest. You've seen the chart. It's become quite a famous
Yeah,
chart,
yeah,
but that was the lowest
yeah.
point ever recorded. They were fantastic numbers, but I'm going to sleep with that chart always. I'll be sleeping with that chart. That chart
You're
was
weird, bro. You're a fucking
very important.
weirdo. That's a
Very
weird
important for a
ass
lot
thing
of
to
reasons.
Well,
say.
I mean,
You're running for
would it be
president.
accurate
What
to
do you
would
mean?
it
You're
be
gonna
accurate to
sleep
say
with
that
a
you're
chart
in
of the
support
immigration
of
numbers?
legal immigration? You know,
Dog,
and that's not to
Elon
say
Musk was an
that
illegal
everyone
immigrant.
who's an illegal immigrant is.
Tax on tips.
Do
I
I
said
think this
that
will have
months
any
ago.
noticeable effect on
And
Trump's
by the way,
numbers?
they had
Positive or
just the
negative?
opposite.
Negative.
You know, they had not only tax on
Negative is
tips,
negative.
but they
No
hired
positives.
88,000
Normal
IRS
people are
agents,
not on Twitter
and
chat.
many of them were assigned to go get
Most
waitress
people are just going to talk about how
caddies,
shitty the
all of
interview
this
was
on tips.
and how
They
it
have a
failed
policy. They had a
spectacularly.
policy. They were
Elon
really
Musk has
gonna
already
go after
murdered
you.
2 campaigns. He's
We're
about to
really
murder his
arresting
third.
people. There's never been
Ron
a country
DeSantis,
in
Vivek
history
Ramaswamy, and
that
now
has
Donald
had a
Trump.
catastrophe. Coming not just from South America, they're coming from Africa, they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Asia, they're
Yeah,
coming from the Middle East, they're coming from countries that are uh, stupidly and horribly bombing Israel October 7th. They're coming from all over the world. And you know, you look at it's so sad October 7th because it should have never happened.
yeah,
It's so sad when
sure.
you look at Ukraine. It should have never happened. We have a
Yeah,
defective government. These are defective people.
A lot of
and
people have talked about how Trump
know,
doesn't know what an asylum seeker is and
absolutely
thinks
secure
it's an
elections.
insane
And
asylum.
so
And I'm
it's
beginning to feel
essential to
like
have a
that is
real
the
voice,
case.
or speaking as someone who is a legal immigrant. And I think that I mean, like one way to think of it is, who do you want on your team? Um, you know, who do you want on Team America? And I think we want to just say, okay, we want to let in people who are gonna, you know, be great contributors to our society and to our economy,
Right.
and you know, and who do you want on the team? And it's not to say that, like in my opinion, actually,
Elon
I'd
was
say
an
like
illegal
probably
immigrant.
most of the illegal
Elon was
immigrants
an
actually
undocumented immigrant.
are
These are rough people. These are people that are in jail for
yeah,
murder and all sorts of things. And they're releasing them into our country. And they're telling them, if you come back, we're going to kill you. We're going to give you the death penalty or kill you. She was
Horrible.
totally in charge. She could have shut the border down without him. He didn't know what he was doing anyway, so he wouldn't have even known
yeah,
what happened. You could shut the border down. He
yeah,
wouldn't even know the difference. But uh, the
This is a good
fact is
line.
that she was
Not a bad
border
line.
czar.
Give him
But
credit
if
for that
you don't
one.
have to call, I hate to say this, the reason the numbers are much bigger than you would think is they're also taking their non-productive people. Now, these aren't people that will kill you. We have enough of them, but these are people that are non-productive. They are just non-productive. I mean, for whatever reason, they're not
Yeah, yeah.
workers, or they don't want to work, or whatever. And these countries
Bro,
are getting rid of
you have two
non-productive
fucking
people in
spoiled
America.
billionaires coming from fucking multi-millionaire billionaire parents talking about how like the random Guatemalan dude that crossed the fucking border, trekked for thousands of miles to work for pennies on the dollar is unproductive. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Walking over here, and I saw an ad by Kamala
What are you
saying how she is
saying?
going to provide.
Anyone that believes this narrative is the dumbest fucking rube and deserves to have all their money stolen by these fucking dipshits. Straight up.
Yeah,
Like, we're literally on the website of a guy who is demonstrably an incompetent asshole who bricked the fucking website that was at least usable before.
They're doing it right now while this third-rate phony candidate. Don't forget, I beat Biden. He
What?
failed in the debate miserably, and some
Oh.
people said, "Oh, gee, it's too bad. It's too bad he did so badly."
did beat
Or I
him in the
did well
debate,
in the debate.
'cause
The
he was
first
dead.
night they said, "Wow." One of the people at CNN said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever witnessed. And then 2 days later, they didn't talk about that. They just said he was bad. But that's okay. That's the way I get treated, and I don't mind that at all. What I can
Because
tell
you
you is
didn't
this:
beat him. He was
that
bad.
we
He was
cannot have a
dying.
Democrat. We cannot have her. She's incompetent.
Bro's
She's as
dunking
bad
on
as
a
Biden.
fucking
Yeah.
senile old man.
Interview.
Yeah, I mean, they just took him out back behind the shed and basically shot him.
What they did with this guy,
So,
and I'm no
yeah.
fan of his, and he was a horrible president, the worst president in history. And one of the reasons he was so bad, first of all, the Israeli attack would have never happened. Russia would never have attacked Ukraine, and we'd have no inflation. And we wouldn't have had the Afghanistan mess, if you think of it.
Well,
And we wouldn't have had Afghanistan. But we think of
Well,
it.
yeah.
You take a few of those events away, and we have a different world. We would also have inflation was caused by oil.
Yeah, no. I think you're making an excellent point here, which is that when other countries can, that are, are thinking about invading or doing bad,
Especially when you look at what's happened to our country. Our country is so bad right now. It's such a different place. We were respected. Think of it. 4 years ago, we were so respected to a point where when I said don't buy oil, they didn't buy oil, but they had no money.
Yeah.
And Israel
Why
would
am I
have
so
never
quiet?
been attacked.
It's just like I'm in
Zero
utter
chance.
disbelief
And
of
again, I said to Vladimir
how
Putin,
similar
I said,
this
"Don't
is
do
to
it.
every fucking
You
Trump
can't do it,
ramble
Vladimir.
rant.
You do it, it's going to be a bad
He's just
day.
literally
You
cooking up the
cannot do it."
same exact
And
fucking nonsense.
I told him things that what I did way.
Yeah, I'm quiet because my goats are
And
talking.
it's the last time we ever had the conversation. He would never have done. I got along well with him. I hope to get along well with him again. Getting along well with them is.
I can't believe I still haven't gotten a bingo.
I got along well with
Yeah.
Kim Jong Un when I met with President Obama just before entering. It's a sort of a ritual. And I sat down with him and we talked. It was supposed to be for a very short period of time. It turned out to be a long period of time. I said, "What's the biggest problem?" He said, "North Korea." I had that problem worked out very quickly. It was nasty at the beginning with Rocket Man and all the different things.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I got a call.
Those were some epic tweets, by the way.
Yeah, they
Those
were.
like,
They were
Oh.
epic. Everything he said. He said that he has a red button on his desk. I said, I have a red button on my desk too, but my red button is much bigger, and my red button works. And then I called him
Yeah.
Little Rocket Man of Little Rocket Man. Anyway, here's the bottom line. All of a sudden, I got a call from him.
Bingo.
And they said,
Remember,
remember I met him and we walked onto his land. Nobody ever walked onto his land before. I walked onto. I wouldn't say. Let's bring up Secret Service again. I wouldn't say they were thrilled when I did that. I walked onto his land, and it was.
Yeah,
it was
the
an
rest
amazing
of the website
period.
was working fine.
But we were not in danger on the outside, and we have enemies on the inside.
When
We
you
have
ask
some
the question,
really
I
bad
can't believe
people
there
in
are
our
people that
government,
would vote for this guy.
and
Yes,
people
dude.
that are
Think about the
controlling
worst person you've
people.
ever met
I mean, I
in your
mentioned
daily
names, but
interactions.
I really don't
Like
wanna give
just
the
an
credit.
overall
But we have some really
repugnant,
bad- and I say they're more
awful
dangerous
dude who's
than
just angry all the
Russia
time.
and China.
Why
If-
wouldn't he
if
vote for
you
this
have
guy?
a smart.
Yeah.
The biggest threat is not global warming, where the ocean's going to rise one eighth of an inch over the next 400 years. And you'll have more oceanfront property, right? The biggest threat is not that. The biggest threat is nuclear warming, because we have 5 countries
What?
now that
Yeah.
have significant nuclear
You
power,
said what?
and we have to not allow anything to happen with stupid people like Biden. Biden did something with Russia, there was no chance of him ever going in. And when I left,
Nuclear
and
warming.
then after I left, they started
It comes
forming
after nuclear
big
winter.
armies on the border with Ukraine.
Someone should remind him he's not running against Biden.
Many more people have been killed in Ukraine.
I think he forgot. He went back to his old speeches so hard he's still
just
cooking
in the two
Biden,
armies, you
dude.
lost 500,000 people. You don't
He
hear the
liter-
true
I think
story.
I suspect he forgot.
If you think about it, but we had
Yeah.
a man that actually made it. It made it more prevalent. It was so bad. The words that he was using, the stupid threats coming from a stupid face that he was using. I said, this guy's going to
What?
cause us a war. He's going to cause us. And let me tell you,
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
lead to
What
World War
the
III.
fuck?
That can lead to World War III. The
Yo,
Middle East
he's
can lead to.
devolving.
We have numerous
He's
places that could
devolving.
end up in
Yeah.
a World War III right now for no reason
No,
whatsoever.
I think you're right. I think people underrate the risk of World War III, and it's just when you're looking at the risk of global thermonuclear warfare, it's game over for humanity, and it's something that people have, I think, after the end of the Cold
His
War, people have
stupid
become
face.
complacent about, but they actually have forgotten that there are currently a lot of nuclear missiles that have targeting parameters for the United States from other
100%.
countries.
And one of the things
And
we're going to do is
it's
we're going to build an Iron Dome over us. Israel has it. We're going to have the best Iron Dome in the world. We need it, and we're going to make it all in the United States. But we're going to have protection because
Oh,
it
I
just
love
takes
that
one
one.
maniac
Israel
to
won't let
start
us.
something. We're going to have protection.
Sir,
And
sir, we have to ask permission for
have an
Israel
Iron
if we
Dome?
can
Israel
use it
has
or not.
one. Some other places
Yeah.
have one that nobody even knows about, frankly. But
I'm not kidding. I
Israel
think
has
he
it. We're
thinks
gonna
the
have an
Iron Dome is literally a
But,
dome.
with all of that being said, to me,
There is a non-zero chance he thinks it's an actual dome.
But with
like
all
in
of
The
that being
Simpsons.
said, the election's coming up, and the people want to hear about
Like,
the
he was the
economy
president.
and the fact that
Absolutely
they
true.
can't buy
He has to
groceries
know we
because
have
they
like
don't have enough
defense
money to buy
systems
groceries.
already.
The inflation has, and that's the thing that people most care about, in my opinion. They care about the border a lot, and we discussed the border at great length. It's nice to have a
Yeah,
forum like this where I can discuss something at length. And by the way, you think Biden could do this interview? Do you think that Kamala could do this interview? They would take a pass on
No, they
you.
could not.
So they don't need
Wait, well, yeah,
Elon.
because he's sucking you. Like, yeah, I'm sure Kamala would love to do a fucking non-contentious, non-adversarial conversation with a random billionaire that
does
loves
this for a
her.
living.
It spends far
God.
more than it brings in. That increases the money supply, and if the money supply increases faster than the rate of goods and services,
right.
that's inflation. So really, we need
Shut
to
up,
have
nerd.
we need
Shut the
to
fuck up,
reduce our
nerd.
government spending, and we need to re-examine. I think we need like
Actually,
a government efficiency commission
spending.
to say like, hey, where are we spending money that's sensible?
Trump
Where is
also
it not
dumped
sensible?
boatloads during COVID. What the fuck do you mean? That would mean that it's
We're
Trump's fault that inflation is
currently
happening.
adding, I think, $1
The
trillion
fuck?
to the deficit every
Dude, this is
roughly every 100
insane that
days.
Elon Musk talks about government spending.
The
Your
interest
entire
payments on
billionaire
national
status
debt
comes from
will now
government
exceed
spending.
the
You
defense
literally have
budget.
never done
It's on the
a
order of $1
singular
trillion.
endeavor that does not
And
require
it
billions
keeps
of dollars
growing.
of checks being written to you. Literal fucking green energy credits kept Tesla afloat in times when they were literally about to go under. Oh my God!
Great job in that. Then we gave 85 billion of it.
Subsidies
back to
fueled
Afghanistan, if
the
you can believe it.
Tesla
We gave them
rise.
85 billion.
Your
they're one of the
brother
largest
and
sellers
Yeah.
of
and
military
yourself
equipment in the
built
world.
a
They're
fucking
selling what
solar
we gave
energy
them.
panel company, again,
That
with
was
government
one of the most
funds.
embarrassing days in the
SpaceX
history of
is
our country.
a government
But,
outsourced
if you
operation
think
off of
about-
NASA.
Let's go back to the
And if you take Venezuela, for example, Venezuela should be incredibly prosperous. They have phenomenal reserves of everything, oil, everything.
Yeah,
And
Trump literally
should be
hardened the
prosperous,
sanctions
but
on
the government's
Venezuela.
wrong.
He's the reason why
It
they're fucking
impoverishes the
collapsing.
people. And that's just something people should bear in mind. Don't take prosperity for granted.
Well, think of education. So we're ranked at the bottom of every list of the top 40. We're ranked number 40, number 38. Norway, Switzerland, Sweden, different countries are ranked good. Actually,
Huh.
China's pretty
I
close to
wonder
the top. They're a top
why.
6 or 7. But we're
I
ranked
wonder
at the bottom,
why.
almost at the bottom, 38, 39, 40.
I fucking
In other
hate
words,
these
horrible.
demons. They're
And yet
literally
we
advocating
spend more
against
per
policies
pupil
right
than any other
now.
country in the world. So we spend more. And what I'm going to do, one of the first acts, and this is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education, move education back to the states, where
Yeah.
where states like Iowa, where states like Idaho.
That's
you know,
insane.
Not every
That's
state will do
he's
great,
literally
because
arguing.
states that basically aren't doing good now. You look at Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. He's terrible. He does a terrible job. So he's not going to do great with education. But of the
Yeah.
50, I
This
would bet
motherfucker's
that
like, I hate Project
35 would
2025,
be
but also abolish
great,
the Department of
and
Education.
15
Yeah.
of them, or 20 of them will be as good as
He
Norway.
hates Project
Norway's
2025, by the way.
great.
Remember?
You can name them. I mean, we've got to get the prices down. When I look at bacon costing 4 or 5 times more than it did a few years
Sure.
ago, when you look at some of the food products in grocery stores,
Donald
people
Trump
know
has
they can't
never
believe it.
purchased
They
food
used to be
at the
able to buy
grocery.
a whole carton, and
Like he's never.
a lot of people just
I don't think in
don't
his entire
have
life.
the money. They go in and they can't buy anything.
Those are the big deals.
We set a record. We did more deregulation and more restrictions on all
Like
of the different
deregulation.
businesses than
I
any
wonder
other
why
president.
two
I
billionaires have
remember
a.
I had the rule for everyone.
Two
we put
billionaires
in, you have
love
to
the
get rid
idea of
10 or
deregulation. I
12.
wonder how that will help
We
the
did
average
radical
person.
cuts on all of
Something really
They
funny
were having
about
the best Asian American women, men.
there's something really funny about
young
Trump
people
denying
without a diploma, young people that
climate
graduated
change
from the best colleges,
to Elon Musk, who's supposed to
from
be a
MIT,
champion
from
of
the
climate
Wharton School,
justice.
from all of the great colleges.
He's
Harvard.
talking about drill,
They
baby,
were
drill,
doing
and
better,
oil
and people
pipelines
without
to
a
Elon
diploma were
Musk, who
doing
is like
better.
an EV
And
evangelist.
everybody was.
I should probably say something about maybe my views on climate change
Yeah.
and oil and gas, because I think I'm probably different from what most people would assume, because my views are actually pretty, I think, moderate in this regard, which is that I don't think we should vilify the oil and gas industry and the people that have worked very hard in those industries to provide the necessary energy to support the economy. And if we were to stop using oil and gas right now, we would all be starving, and the
He's
economy
such a
would
bitch,
collapse.
dude.
So it's I don't think it's right to sort of vilify the oil and gas industry.
He's such a bitch.
And I the world has a certain demand for oil and
Cock.
gas, and it's probably better if the United States provides that than some other countries. And it would help with prosperity in the U.S.
Bro is
And at the
literally
same time,
fucking
also,
3 minutes
my
away
view
from being
is
like, EVs are
we do
gay,
over time
actually.
want
I
to
hate them.
to
I hate people who
a
drive
sustainable
EVs.
energy
They
economy,
are
because
obviously
eventually we do
homosexual
run out of.
Marxists.
I mean,
We should
if we run
stop
out
the
of oil and
production
gas,
of electric
it's not
vehicles.
there for. It's not. It's clearly. Not, I mean, it's clearly like we just don't have a president right
You
now.
don't
That's
have a
just obviously the
president, and
case.
she's going to be worse than him,
Um,
because she is a San Francisco liberal who destroyed San Francisco, and
So
then as
is
Attorney General, she
so is
destroyed
Elon.
California. You talk about location, and we're talking about the sun and the water and all. There's nothing better than California. She has destroyed that. She was the original DA. She was the original in San Francisco. She was the original Attorney General in California. What she has done to California is, well, you know better than I do. You just left California for a lot of those reasons. And what she's done with crime, with cashless bail, where you kill somebody. I mean, we have states now you kill somebody and they let you out right away. I mean,
Another fun
don't have to
fact,
even put up, and then they
Donald
never
Trump
find the people
donated to
already
Kamala Harris's
until again,
campaign
and then they let them out
twice.
again. Our
Yeah.
country
I
left
believe a total
San
of
Francisco liberal,
$13,000.
and now she's trying to protect. Now she's looking like she wants to be more Trump than Trump, if that's possible. I don't think it's possible, but she wants to be more Trump than
well,
Trump.
yeah.
I want a wall. I
I
want,
think that's
she
yeah.
wants
Not
to
in
release all the
2019,
Yeah.
no.
prisoners that are in detention. Like a month later, they're obsolete. You find a better way to. The only thing that's not obsolete is a
For her
wall and a
attorney
wheel.
general reelection.
And the wall, I built hundreds of miles of wall, and that's why we had such good numbers. I was going to add 200
Yeah.
miles. We bought it. We could have flipped it up in 3 weeks, and they sold it for 5 cents on the dollar. The way I'm looking at the numbers, you got a lot of people listening. I hope you don't get
Yeah.
nervous, because you got a lot of people listening to you right now, like 60 million or something. What is that number? It's crazy. It's amazing how you can see that right away. How many?
60
What is the number?
million?
Wow. What is it?
Someone corrected him and
Well,
said,
Wow.
I think in
Wow,
terms of people
that's bigger than you said. You said 25, and you're much more than double that number, 25 million. I think you're going to be 60 or 70. And I guess over a period of time, hey, that's I congratulate you.
What?
Do I get paid for this or not?
That's funny. That was good. That was a good one.
Say here, here's to an exciting, inspiring future that people can look forward to and be optimistic and excited about what happens next. And that's the kind of future that I think you will bring as president, and that's why I endorse you.
Well, I appreciate that. That endorsement meant a lot to me. Not all endorsements mean that much, to be honest. Your endorsement
Like
meant a
that
lot.
Aiden Ross endorsement, that didn't mean shit.
Make America great again. It's pretty simple, but it really says that we want to make America great again, and we can do it. We can do it now, but if we were going to suffer another 4 years like we've suffered for the last 4 years, I'm not sure the country can ever come back. That's how bad it is. It's so bad. We have to do a lot of things.
I think that's a very real risk.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
That's a very real risk.
Yeah.
And it's, I'd just like to note to people listening, like I've not been very political before, and if you look at my record, I've
What?
actually been.
Bro, you're
I'm
a
not
billionaire.
so they try to paint me as like a far right guy, which is absurd because I'm like making electric vehicles and
You are literally a
solar,
Nazi,
that's
bro.
happening
You
in the
literally
environment.
retweet
And,
Nazi memes on a
and
daily
actually,
basis. You follow Nazis on the website. You've turned this website into a Nazi shithole.
For 6 hours to shake Obama's hand when he was running for president, and so it's not like I'm like some sort of dyed-in-the-wool long-term
my God.
Republican. I call myself,
Bro said Henry Ford. I'm just like Henry Ford. I just want to make vehicles. It's so weird that they're calling me a Nazi for the pamphlets that I'm writing and disseminating.
I think a lot of people thought, the Biden administration would be a moderate, and I do sort of consider myself liberal in some ways. I mean, it's just that you want to have empathy for
Right.
people. Obviously, you want to have empathy for people. I totally agree with that. You want to have empathy, but
you
you also
can't.
have to have empathy for the victims of the criminals. And if you just have empathy for the criminals, it's actually shallow empathy. It's not real. You're not thinking. You're one layer deep.
That's the thing that Americans
empathy.
have
You
too
gotta
much
say, like,
of. Empathy
if
for
you don't
criminals.
incarcerate this person, who are they going to?
What are you saying,
Who
bro?
are they might kill someone. They might rape someone. If you don't incarcerate them, you have to have empathy for
We
the
have the
victims.
highest percentage.
And there's
We
a
have the
lack
highest
of
prisoner
empathy for the
density per
victims of
capita
the
on the
criminals,
planet.
and
Okay,
too much empathy for the criminals.
25%
It
of the
doesn't make
entire
sense.
planet's
That's
incarcerated
why you want to
is in
have
the United States of
deep
America.
empathy
We only make
for
up
society
4%
as a
of the
whole,
entire planet's
not
population.
shallow empathy for criminals.
Ridiculous.
And we have to give our
We
police
imprison
officers the
so
dignity
much.
and the respect that they deserve. And we have to let them do their job. They can do a great job.
I love the
but we
idea
have
that
to let them
policing
do
is
their job.
shitty
And
in
if
this
we don't
country,
do
not because
that,
they're fucking major babies that have qualified immunity and never get accountability, but because we're not respecting them enough. It is one of the things that frustrates me so much because Americans also are so stupid and they love the police, even though they are literally so bad at their fucking jobs. I want them to do their jobs. I want them to actually do their jobs. I want them to solve crimes. You know what I mean? That's what we're fucking paying them for.
It's been really fun, and I hope you got a lot of viewers. I hear you got a lot.
Let us hear them talk, please, bro. They're saying goodbye to each other like
I know you got a
lovers
lot of them. So
who can't hang up the fucking phone first for the past 25 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. They kept doing, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Thank you, Elon.
Biden actually did something that was impossible.
Oh my God, he is slurring.
Both sides hate him, both sides. Yeah. That was a hard thing to do, unification.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Oh my God. Big Dog actually hit the suffering succotash.